I've done a few videos on actors who were only nominated one time and either won or lost on their first and only try. Now I want to discuss some actors who received 2 nominations and decide which performance I would have chosen as the one most deserving of a win. And of course, I want to know your thoughts as well. I'm Michael, aka Oscar Man, and a caveat. While most mentioned here are no longer with us, I've also included a few whom I'm doubtful will likely have a shot at any more nominations. So let's begin with a screen icon who, in his brief career, made Oscar history.
We bought futures at 5 cents, and war came along, and the price went sky high. So, that's for you.
James Dean appeared in 5 films, uncredited, before making his official debut in 1955's East of Eden, earning his first lead actor nomination. He followed that up with Rebel Without a Cause and his third and last film, Giant, which brought him a second nomination as Best Actor.
I like you too. I guess you're about the best looking gal we've seen around here in a long time. I think. Prettiest than I think I've seen down here.
James Dean achieved legendary status before his untimely death in 1955. There has been much speculation and rumor about the car accident and its aftermath as to whether or not Dean survived. To that end, there have also been numerous rumors about Dean's personal life, including his affairs with both men and women. Did you know he was in a 3-month relationship with Oscar winner Geraldine Page? Speaking of Oscars, James Dean made Academy history by becoming the only actor to be nominated posthumously twice. Though he was alive when East of Eden was released, Rebel Without a Cause came out a month after his death, as well as Giant the following year. He was scheduled to film Somebody Up There Likes Me, which ended up starring Paul Newman. As for Dean's 2 Oscar-nominated roles, that of Cal in John Steinbeck's East of Eden and Jet in Giant, this is the performance I would choose as the one most deserving of an Oscar.
You never really loved us. I know why you didn't love me. 'Cause I'm like my mother, and you never forgave yourself for having loved her. All right, I'm not gonna forgive him. I'm never gonna forgive him.
Where's Aaron?
He's with her. With his mother.
I always thought Dean was so moving in East of Eden, and his best scenes were with Joe Van Fleet and Raymond Massey, who played his parents. He lost both Oscars to Ernest Borgnine in Marty and Yul Brynner in The King and I, respectively. Though he only starred in 3 films before his death at the age of 24, James Dean's legacy has influenced generations and even inspired the play and film Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean, Jimmy Dean, starring Sandy Dennis, Cher, Karen Black, and Kathy Bates. If you've never seen it, check it out.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry.
You tell Patty. You tell Patty that you're sorry.
Jill Clayburgh starred in several films, including Silver Streak and Semi-Tough, before receiving her first Best Actress nomination for 1978's An Unmarried Woman. The following year, she was nominated again for Starting Over.
How could you call me a friend?
It's good that you got that out of your system.
Of theirs! Oh.
Jill Clayburgh's seemingly sudden overnight success with An Unmarried Woman solidified her A-list status as a leading lady of films in the late 1970s and into the 80s. The critically acclaimed drama won her the Best Actress award at the Cannes Film Festival, and many believed she would prevail at the Oscars. She lost to Jane Fonda in Coming Home. In the romantic comedy Starting Over, which featured one of Burt Reynolds' best performances, Clayburgh's portrayal of Marilyn proved that an unmarried woman wasn't a fluke, though she faced stiffer competition for Best Actress that year, losing to Sally Field in Norma Ray. Even though she earned back-to-back nominations, Jewel Clayburgh's subsequent film career wasn't of the same quality, though I will say that she gave an Oscar nomination-worthy performance in the largely ignored Running with Scissors. Now, while I think she was excellent in both of her Oscar-nominated performances, I think I'll choose this one for the win.
There are male companions out there who don't want to get laid?
You could have a drink with me.
Is that a pass, Arthur?
No, it was an invitation to have a drink.
How come I never got an invitation to have a drink when I was married?
Well, I don't know. I never thought about it.
It's a pass, Arthur. A definite fucking pass.
Jewel Clayburgh's triumph in An Unmarried Woman was met with resounding cheers from women, and it also served as a wake-up call to men, at least those who paid attention. Clayburgh worked primarily in television throughout the 1990s into the next decade, along with appearing in several stage productions. Sadly, she died of leukemia in 2010 at the age of 66.
We're going out.
Why? Aren't you going with Joss or anyone?
No.
Let's go and eat then.
But at the first bit of dust and all that nonsense, I'm leaving you.
Parkin's residence.
One of my favorite films is 1966's Georgie Girl, in which Lynn Redgrave's first starring role brought her a Best Actress nomination. She had to wait more than 30 years for her second nomination as Best Supporting Actress in 1998's Gods and Monsters.
So what you're telling me is that Mr. Whale is a homo?
You did not know?
No, I wasn't very sure.
You and he are not...
Oh, no, Hannah.
That's what I hope. I did not think you a bugger, too.
A member of the Redgrave family of actors, including Oscar-nominated father Michael and Oscar-winning older sister Vanessa, Lynn Redgrave's career spanned nearly 50 years, with substantial work not only in film, but on television and the stage. In fact, she has the distinction of being the only actor to have been nominated for all 4 major awards, the Oscar, Emmy, Grammy, and Tony, without winning any of them. Now, I know one or more of you is going to come up with someone else, so please enlighten us. As the plain, naive heroine in Georgie Girl, Redgrave displayed the dramatic and comedic talents that won her the Golden Globe and the New York Film Critics Awards. Of course, we Oscar nerds know she lost Best Actress that year to Elizabeth Taylor in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Redgrave's film career continued into the 70s and 80s, but in less worthier projects, such as The Happy Hooker and The Big Bus. However, she bounced back in the 90s, earning a Golden Globe and Oscar nod for her role as Hannah, the loyal but acerbic housemaid in Gods and Monsters. She certainly could have been the second Redgrave to win an Oscar had the Academy not decided to give Judi Dench a makeup award for Shakespeare in Love. Would have I also chosen that performance as the one in which to award this talented actress?
I've been thinking that the terms of my proposed contract could be amended to cover this.
Oh, don't you start all that again. I've had nothing else for the last 6 months. Just contracts. They're still going to take the baby away.
Sorry to those who loved her in Gods and Monsters, but I think Georgie Girl remains Lynn Redgrave's best performance. The film would never have worked without her funny, sensitive portrayal of a young woman whose inclusion in the lives of a triangle of characters seemingly complicate, yet ultimately help her in the discovery and celebration of her identity. Lynn Redgrave achieved success in television and on Broadway, where she worked up until her death from cancer in 2010 at the age of 67.
barnet spot, it landed on this wire that was as thick as brass. It was hanging there the next morning. It was only about 100 yards from the line, but too far for anyone to fetch it.
Speaking of Gods and Monsters, its star, Ian McKellen, earned a Best Actor nomination as film director James Whale. His second nomination came for 2001's The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
It was pity that stayed Bilbo's hand. Many that live deserve death, and some that die deserve life. Can you give it to them, Frodo? Do not be too eager to deal out death and judgment. Even the very wise cannot see all ends.
Sir Ian McKellen wasn't widely known to American film audiences when Gods and Monsters was released, having primarily achieved his greatest success on the British stage in such productions as Hamlet and Amadeus. For his performance in Gods and Monsters, McKellen received numerous awards and nominations, and he was considered a strong candidate for the Best Actor Oscar. He lost to Roberto Benigni in Life is Beautiful, one of the least popular wins according to viewers of this channel. McKellen's first appearance in the Lord of the Rings series earned him a nomination as Best Supporting Actor, but he lost to Jim Broadbent in Iris. Now, which of his two nominated performances do I choose as the one for the win?
David, of course, was still in the thick of it. A life chock-a-block with anxiety and studio intrigue. I didn't fancy spending my golden years as the friend. So I finally drew down the curtain and closed the show.
While I didn't think Gods and Monsters was a great film, McKellen's portrayal of a lonely man's complicated friendship with his gardener is among his best. The actor had to create much more depth beyond the superficial screenplay provided him, and while not entirely a sympathetic character, McKellen imbued James Whale with a fragility which offered some insight into his behavior and its impact on himself and others. Sir Ian McKellen continues to work steadily on stage, television, and films, and it will be interesting to see if his future work brings him another Oscar nomination and perhaps a win.
I'm very moved. Really, I feel I'm sharing a very
I had an affair.
precious moment with you. You know, that's good, honey. I mean, I feel that it's right there.
I
You're
had an
telling me
affair.
something, honey. I said that's good. I mean, you just don't come right out and tell everybody.
I had an affair when I was in Miami.
Diane Cannon's first major film role was in the popular 1969 comedy Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice, for which she was nominated as Best Supporting Actress. The following decade, Cannon was back as a supporting nominee for 1978's Heaven Can Wait.
Don't put your hand over my mouth again.
I'm sorry, darling. You used to like it.
Listen to me. If we don't do something right away, we're going to lose it all. I should have my head examined for signing a prenuptial agreement. I'll wind up with my wardrobe and some allowance, and you'll be fired without references.
We'll still have each other.
Not after you bring charges against us for the last two murders. Don't you try it.
Diane Cannon guest starred in more than 30 television shows before landing her third movie role as Alice, part of the wife-swapping quartet in the controversial, at the time, comedy about marital discord. Before that, she was known more for being the wife of screen legend Cary Grant. But Bob and Carol brought Cannon widespread acclaim. The actress went on to star in dozens of films in the 1970s, and she received an Oscar nomination for Number One, a live-action short she wrote, directed, and produced. For her comedic performance as the brash, hysterical wife in 1978's hit Heaven Can Wait, Cannon won the Golden Globe and another supporting actress nomination, though she lost to Maggie Smith in California Suite. While I have always liked Diane Cannon and enjoyed her two nominated performances, this one is easy for me to choose.
But I was just thinking that I got angry at him once. I don't know. I think it was because Bob and I... Did I say Bob? Bob and I... a Freudian slip.
Uptight, brittle, tense, yet very sexy, Diane Cannon's portrayal of Alice demonstrated the actress's comedic gifts, especially in her scene with the therapist, which should have won her the Oscar, that instead went to Goldie Hawn in Cactus Flower. I love Goldie, but come on. Anyway, Diane Cannon remains active at the age of 88, and though I doubt another nomination or honorary Oscar is in her future, she remains an outspoken member of the entertainment industry.
Give us any shit. What's Joe's last name?
I don't know, man. All I know is he lives on 125th Street, man, above the barbershop.
What side of the street do you live on? North or south? North or south?
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know.
I'm asking you what side of the street he lives on.
Roy Scheider was a relative newcomer to films when he was nominated as Best Supporting Actor for 1971's The French Connection, the year's Best Picture winner. Later that decade, Scheider moved up to Best Actor for his nominated role in 1979's All That Jazz.
All I want to do now is to read easily through the script, and frankly, I'm not too familiar with it myself. So if we go through it, then you'll give Paul and me some rough idea of what we've got. Okay, no acting, everyone. Just take it easy. Easy. All right, lights up. Audrey, you have your first number, and then you begin reading on page 2.
Roy Scheider's first film was 1964's The Curse of the Living Corpse. He followed that up with various movie and television roles, typecast as tough guys and cops. As Detective Buddy Russo, based on the real-life officer Sonny Grasso, Scheider reportedly stormed out of his audition because he believed he lost his chance at the role. But director William Friedkin cast him because of the actor's demeanor. Trivia: William Shatner was considered for the role before Scheider got it. Ben Johnson ended up winning for The Last Picture Show, a no-brainer decision. All That Jazz was a change of pace for Roy Scheider, whose performance as Joe Gideon, loosely based on the film's director Bob Fosse, brought the actor his best reviews. Paul Newman was originally offered the role and later called turning it down a dumb mistake. Richard Dreyfuss uttered the same words when he departed the film due to creative differences. The film was inspired by Bob Fosse's interest in death after he suffered a massive heart attack years prior. All That Jazz was considered self-indulgent by some critics, but Scheider's performance pleased everyone. 2 different roles in 2 very different films. Which do I choose?
Oh, God damn it. How dare you use my phone, my telephone, to call somebody who's not gay?
Oh, I see. You can go out with any girl in town.
That's right. I go out with any girl in town. I stay in with you.
Roy Scheider had to undertake much research to portray both of his Oscar-nominated characters. For The French Connection, the actor rode in a squad car alongside his real-life counterpart to fully understand the experience. For All That Jazz, Scheider had to develop the singing and dancing skills which he previously trained for the stage. He also had to learn how to properly cough, which Bob Fosse insisted the actor do in order to realistically portray a chain smoker. Though Roy Scheider lost to Dustin Hoffman in Kramer vs. Kramer, I consider his performance in All That Jazz among his best. The actor continued working up until his death in 2008 at the age of 75.
Jag är ju bara en fattig jävel mot dig, men vi har ju ordentliga kläder bägge två, och så har jag ett par stadiga nävar.
Ja, du är inte bange för att hjälpa till, kan jag förstå?
Nej, det är jag inte. Så är jag inte rädd för en kopp kaffe på sängen på söndagmorgnarna gäller.
Swedish actor Max von Sydow was never nominated for any of the films in which he was directed by Ingmar Bergman. Instead, his first came as lead actor in 1987's Pelle the Conqueror. Later on, in 2011's Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, von Sydow was nominated as Best Supporting Actor for his role as the renter.
I had to tell someone. I couldn't keep it a secret anymore. Can I tell you my story? My father died at 9/11.
Max von Sydow's 70-year career in both American and European films, television, and theater productions began with the 1949 Swedish film Only a Mother. Though he is perhaps best known for his role as Father Merrin in The Exorcist, von Sydow also starred in such Oscar-nominated films as The Immigrants, Hannah and Her Sisters, and Awakenings. In Pele the Conqueror, von Sydow played Lasse, a father trying to build a new life for himself and his son in 1850 Denmark. The actor's critically acclaimed performance is what brought the film to American audiences, and his surprise Best Actor nomination helped the film at the box office. Considered a long shot, von Sydow lost to Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man. Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close was a controversial film that divided critics and audiences. Its Best Picture nomination was also widely criticized by many, though von Sydow's nod as a mute elderly renter went pretty much unscathed. He lost that year to another veteran, Christopher Plummer, in Beginnings. And while I think Max von Sydow deserved more nominations besides these two, I have to choose this performance.
Det lovar din far på hedersord. Ska vi själv.
Slå ihjäl honom.
Sånt jävla svin.
Lovar du slå ihjäl honom?
Och det kan du vara säker på, Pelle.
Hur då?
Ja, hur då?
Vad ska du slå ihjäl honom med?
Med hammaren, tror jag.
Slå ihjäl honom på fläcken?
Ja.
Som en död hund?
Den saken är klar.
The role of Lassie seemed tailor-made for Max von Sydow, and it was fitting that he finally was acknowledged by the Academy after decades of good performances. His role was neither big nor showy, but the laborer's struggles for a better life were universally shared, irrespective of one's origin. Surprisingly, Pele the Conqueror is only the second entry from Denmark to win the Best Foreign Language Film Oscar. A sequel was planned to cover the remaining parts of the novel on which the film was based, but that didn't come to fruition due to financial reasons. Max von Sydow died in 2020 at the age of 90. A legendary entertainer remains, but first, let me take this opportunity to thank you for your viewership and support, and ask for a few favors. When the video ends with an eerie moment from an Oscar nominee, would you please click on the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet already, hit the notification bell so YouTube will alert you when my videos and daily polls are posted, and if you're watching this on a mobile phone, swipe left until you see the hype button and please tap on it. The more hypes the video receives, the more visibility YouTube will provide it, and thus more Oscar nerds will join us. You can do this twice in 1 week. My heartfelt thanks to viewer Gorlo Jeff for suggesting this.
Why do you work at all?
Brings in extra money.
I make enough.
You want me to quit working?
I thought you were bored with it.
I am.
So quit.
What'll I do?
What do other women do?
Have children.
Why on earth is Ann-Margret only a 2-time Oscar nominee? She stunned everyone with her supporting actress turn in 1971's Carnal Knowledge, and we toasted her with champagne as the mother in the 1975 musical adaptation of Tommy. And Sally Field claimed she had an unorthodox career? She may have been a flying nun before becoming an Oscar winner, but try being a kitten with a whip and expect to be taken seriously. And yet, Ann-Margret did it, albeit not without her naysayers. Beginning her career with her Golden Globe-winning role in 1961's Pocketful of Miracles, Ann-Margret's trajectory took a lot of turns, from films such as Bye Bye Birdie and Viva Las Vegas to television movies, which brought her 3 Golden Globes and multiple Emmy nominations, to a successful nightclub act where she wowed audiences with her singing and dancing skills. Ann-Margret's promising film career was tanking by the 1970s until director Mike Nichols took a chance and cast her in the role of Bobby, Jack Nicholson's girlfriend, in the controversial Carnal Knowledge. Nichols had considered and passed on Jane Fonda, Raquel Welch, Joan Collins, Natalie Wood, and Diane Cannon. I read that Ellen Burstyn auditioned for the role, but somehow I can't see her in the part. Mike Nichols agreed to see Ann-Margret because he remembered being impressed with her performance in Kitten with a Whip. In 1975's Tommy, an adaptation of the rock opera by The Who, the part of Nora, Tommy's mother, was expanded so that a star of the magnitude of Ann-Margret would be interested. Director Ken Russell stated that he cast the actors because he needed a great singer, though it was bandied about that Barbra Streisand was mentioned as a contender. Okay, now admit it. You would have paid good money to watch Funny Girl roll around in baked beans and chocolate. Ann-Margret won another Golden Globe, this time as Best Actress, though she lost the Oscar to Louise Fletcher in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I saved Ann-Margret for last because I've always loved watching her, which makes this choice the hardest for me to make between her 2 nominations. Both performances were wonderful, and I can't believe I'm making myself do this, but okay, here goes.
You're trying to kill me.
Marriage is death.
Why now?
Because 2 years ago I slept 8 hours. A year ago it was 12. It's up to 15 now. Pretty soon it's gonna be 24.
What are you trying to do? Scare me?
I need a life.
Get a job!
I don't want a job. I want you.
Let me clarify one thing. My choice does not infer that it would have been better than the winner, Cloris Leachman, in The Last Picture Show. As for each performance I decided upon in this video, the choice was made solely for the actor's work, period, not based on the competition. Now, if I had chosen her performance in Tommy, it would honestly have been for the champagne number. But in Carnal Knowledge, I thought Ann-Margret not only was sympathetic in a film where virtually no one was likable, but she also held her own with Jack Nicholson, with whom she sparred, quite explosively. I think Time magazine put it best when writing this about Ann-Margret's performance. Quote, "It was like watching Minnie Mouse play Ophelia, brilliantly," unquote. No one took the casting of Ann-Margret seriously until they watched the film, and the actress herself stated that her second Oscar nomination for Tommy was, for her, confirmation that the first one wasn't a fluke. So what happened? Why didn't Ann-Margret get another film role that would have brought her a third nomination and perhaps Oscar win? While I was happy to see her get some love from the television industry, to me, she was and will always be a movie star. Hey, Academy, do you have one of those honorary Oscars you can give this lady? Now, which one of these performances would you have chosen as the best of the 2 nominated? Be sure and share your thoughts. And until we meet again, here is a very prophetic, almost creepy conclusion to a public service announcement that James Dean filmed on September 17, 1955, 13 days before his death.
I find myself being very cautious on the highway. I don't have the urge to speed on the highway. People say racing is dangerous, but I'll take my chances on the track any day than on a highway. Well, Gig, I think I'd better take off.
Oh, wait a minute, Jimmy. One more question. Do you have any special advice for the young people who drive?
Take it easy driving. The life you might save might be mine. You know?